Hello and welcome, Snake here. Today I will try to review the Dying Light the Beast, because it's my first review. I never did it, so please be gentle, because I don't know how to review game properly. I know I will point everything negative from the start, and then I go back to positives, because I wanna point the negatives I found, and it will definitely work for me, because I can, balance this out. And I know I should pick like story, go bad and good. Yes, I should. But everyone said so many good things about this game. And I'm frustrated because I see the cracks and I want to point them out. So I know I'm not doing the form as I should, and I apologize. But as I said, it's my first one. So if you have tips, absolutely add them. And I want to start from the fact that Dying Light the Beast is a great game for some time, okay? We'll talk about the duration a little bit longer, but the world that they created feels, that there was a lot of work put into it. Even the mountain roads feel like it was really handcrafted. A lot of things was like handcrafted, and it felt great. They put a lot of work. However, without HDR, a game doesn't look that well as on trailers. So you need to have HDR or your game never gonna look that well. And I tried recording HDR, but OBS doesn't cooperate with HDR, so had to turn it off. They really put a lot of work into everything. So I'll give them that. And now I'll start picking things and we can talk. But remember, Dying Light meant to be the Beast meant to be a DLC for Dying Light 2. Due to some changes and probably ownership by Tencent, they want a standalone full price game. And they did it. They put more effort to make it happen, to be more like a main title rather than DLC. It went well, I would say, but I have something to add here. Story-wise, The Beast feels much better than Dying Light 2. Because there was just find your sister in a city, while here is vengeance. And lots of people identify with vengeance more than looking for somebody missing. And it's simpler, much simpler, because it's all about vengeance. So your actions are, dictated by vengeance. Plot twists that happen was quite predictable, which it's a shame, because you could see them from miles away. And in general, the whole story is like Baron is cooking chimeras, the virus. For who? World is fucked already. He wants to be unkillable, okay. And I think if he didn't cook Crane, he didn't bother with the other character, he would be very powerful anyway. So what's the purpose? I get it that the whole, looking for a virus would be much better when, I don't know, in the times of Haran, when virus was just in small area contained rather than global. Because when it's global, there is leftovers of humanity. So it doesn't make any sense, and that was baffling to me. Like, oh, a virus to sell or what? What's the point? Now it's all about surviving. There is, Jesus, so many people died protecting Baron. He could do so much with his resources. He could establish city. He could establish, oh Jesus. Yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid. Side quests, on the other hand, loving them. I love side quests. Some of them were really good, like the looking cure for a brother, and eventually we looked, stuff for a birthday. It was emotional. Some of the side quests were really nice, and I had fun. Final story, the final quest, when you epilogue, when you about to finish game, felt way better than previous two games. Seriously. I didn't like the Rise Tower. It made sense. It was okay. But I hated Dying Light 2. Here, it was the most enjoyable. And the table, Last Supper or how you call it. Yeah, that was something. So definitely got me there. The final battle was odd, but it's not me to judge it. It was meh, but still better than Dying Light 2, so I'll take it. Talent tree and the levels, I hate it. I like the way that was previously. You leveled combat, you level parkour. Here, you level whatever, and you just get 15 levels. That's it. And yeah, I really don't like this whole thing. Let's say 1 point per level, and at the start I was like, I got the level 2, and I was like, just 1 point, okay. That means I'm gonna have to pick and choose which abilities I get. No, you get everything, and it sucks when suddenly you get 2, 3, 4 points, and it's, come on, I would rather have those 40, 50 levels. Seriously, I would have so much more fun having a purpose. That's why I still don't have in Dying Light maxed out the Paragon's level. In Dying Light 2 it was much easier because you could cheese it, but in Dying Light 1, I mean, you can farm stuff, but no, I just play and eventually I'll get it. And it was giving me reason to kill zombies, to do stuff. When I get level maxed, and I was far, far from finishing story, I felt like I got robbed of something. I had no reason to fight, just pure enjoyment, but no reason, nothing from it. And and I didn't like it. I felt detached from it. It's terrible that, there is no extra levels, no extension of a Paragon's level, whatever we call it, so you get stronger and stronger. Yeah, this part is terrible for me. I feel it. I don't like it. I really don't like it. I like that Crane started with some of the abilities from previous games. I did like it, like slide or any other abilities that let him do things. It was great, like stabbing zombie when you try to choke them, break their neck. That was definitely nice. I'm thinking, why would I need to stab zombie, if they never fight back and I can break their necks without knives? But outside of that, the ability, it's nice that Crane has those abilities from like previous game. So that was good. Zombies looks great. They definitely looked at the Dying Light 2, the Dead Island 2, and saw what, the developers did there. How people really enjoy it. And I do like smashing those zombies. Sadly, there's just a couple of weapons, really, just couple of weapons, that's it. And fighting zombies, especially when they were grabby, now they're fixing it, but the grabby zombies, oh my god, that was frustrating. So I realized one-handed weapons are ass, and I went for two-handers all the time. Two-handers were absolutely, cure for grabby zombies. Still, sometimes I slap them with the two-hander when they should react, and they didn't. They grabbed me through no matter what. But in the end, it was the best choice. However, every fight felt the same. I was hitting either head, legs, just to, not get grabbed. And fights were really fast, repeatable, which is something that really frustrated me. And I hope they eventually introduce more types of weapons, but who knows how long they're gonna, actually support it. But if they could add extra weapons, like a spear, like a flail, some kind of stuff like that, right? It would have a different reaction and feel different. Knuckles feels great because they are really, really fast and they do nice damage. The Knuckles feels smooth, and they're definitely one of the most fun to use. The Brass Knuckles, MVP. But of course, two-handers are smashing everything from far. They can knock down zombie really quick, and then you can smash their heads. So the most effective you'll get with the two-handers, in my opinion, okay? Infected feels really great. I like the armored guy, the Charger. Oh, he looks great. I love his look. Outside of that, I noticed that there are sponges on bullets. You rather want to fight melee with them, you will do much more damage than just bullets. Because I've spent like, I don't know how many shotgun shots on Goon and he was still standing. So it was frustrating. Absolutely, they look gorgeous, but Demolisher and Goon can stun lock you permanently. And I'm serious, because if you're unlucky and you get nothing, you get slapped and you're on the ground and you cannot retreat back because you're blocked by something, Goon will slap you, stomp you, slap you, stomp you. Demolisher will slap you, charge at you, and you get stun lock. You're dead, and it's like, oh, so awesome. It was frustrating. So you need to watch out where you fight them and use melee weapons rather than guns and arrows, bolts, because it's just not gonna work that well. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? But I definitely found melee much more effective. The night. Oh my god, I love the night, how dark it is. What I really dislike is the fact that there is no reason to do anything at night. Because we don't get any paragons, we don't get, anything. Volatiles don't drop anything special. And you can cheese, by the way, you can cheese some volatiles fight at night. The chases where you just get behind somebody, like in a shack, or in a tomb beneath the cathedral, where you can fight. There is a tiny hole and you can smash volatiles endlessly for the entire night. But there is no reason to do it. I mean, I like to do stuff at night. I like that volatiles were reacting to light. That was, again, very nice, because it was in Dying Light 1. So that was great. And pitch black, you couldn't see shit. But like I said, there was no real reason to do it at night. I mean, for just lols. Yeah, I mean, for just enjoyment, doing it at night. Okay, yeah, I did it 1, 2, 3 times. Then it was inconvenient because it was actually annoying. I had to, I died. I lost a lot of XP. When I had XP, once I got leveled up, the dying didn't matter at all. So yeah, I started to do it at night just to enjoy a little bit. And it was nice. It was nice that the volatiles were reacting to certain things. It was great for some time. Then I came back to just, I'm gonna sleep, because it's just okay. It's better to do it because you meet so many things and they feel odd. So it was absolutely better do it at day. I wish to have more reason to do things at night. Like something. Bolter? Yeah, I killed bolters, couple of them. I get, military medkit. Yay! But what else? What else? Game looks awesome. Yeah, but give us reason to fight. The beast mode. Beast mode feels nice. What I didn't like at the start of a game is that you were filling the bar and yeah, you transform into beast. And normally I would just cancel. I don't like beast mode. I didn't like the rage in Dead Island 1 and 2. I use it because I have to, but I'm trying not to. I have most fun without using these modes. Even when I play, I don't know, God of War, I try to not use the God of War, Spartan, shout, whatever. I try to avoid it. I find this much more enjoyable. But okay, I like that it has special animations for each specific, infected type. For Hag, for Spitter, for Goon, for Demolisher, Volatile. It was great. I loved it. So that was nice. Some abilities, meh. Sometimes I'm trying to do something and I press ability and it's like, oh, I didn't want this, but some of the abilities drain that too quick and some just works. I found just randomly bashing everyone with just mouse click, the main attack the most effective because it lasted the longest. And yeah, it's fun. It's just stupid fun carnage. You can still die. In many cases, you can't in games where you pop the ultimate rage ability, whatever. Here you can die. Oh, yes, you can. So you do have to, watch out. The beast mode helped me get into some specific towers before I got grappling hook. So that was great. The jump, woo. And traveling in beast mode is sick. When you travel in the grappling hook, you do such a distance. It's insane. So I highly recommend to travel. Outside of that, it's just fun. The talents you get, the talents are okay, I guess. That's all I have. You unlock specific things. And then it's the same problem with talent tree that at the start you get 1 point, then you get 2, 3, 4, and it's dumb. I would rather have 40, 50 levels rather than 15. And scaling on a map is weird, because there are zones that have specific levels, and you can finish zombies with just kicking them, then you get execution. Eventually they get to level 11, that's max, and they're so easy to kill. The only challenge in fighting are volatiles, but lacking of New Game Plus is terrible. And I know most of the games release New Game Plus later, alongside something. And Techland will release New Game Plus eventually alongside as some kind of skin bundle or something like that. It's just opportunity to get players back, and hey, here you have some awesome skins. Get it. And weapons. Yeah. So I know eventually it will happen, and I hope for it because I want to enjoy, Dying Light when enemies are just tough and equal to my level. So till the end, the challenge exists. And I know, play on brutal. Yeah, and then what? Eventually, on brutal, I can still kick zombies and get executioner. Execution happens after kicking those zombies. So it sucks. It really sucks. I'm really negative about it, I know. But New Game Plus should be mandatory in games like this from the start, because that extends enjoyment. And scaling world, Dead Island 2 definitely did it better, because they were scaling higher, they were scaling equally. I don't even remember. Damn, it's been a while since I played, but Dead Island 2 definitely had it better, because zombies were relevant longer. Crafting, we don't get 4 levels of recipes. We get like from normal to blue, from blue to purple, from purple to yellow. That's it. There should be an orange one, but yeah, it's pretty much the same we had in Dying Light 2. A lot of things require those stupid wires. I have no idea why we need so many wires, but that leads to another subject, which is dark zones. Dark zones pose no threat. In Dying Light 2, there were volatiles in dark zones. Here, there is a screamer or whatever, and I come in, boom, boom, boom. You can even come in, use a gun inside, because virals does not spawn in dark zone at all. They spawn outside on the street. So you can just gun blazing everything. It's actually fun, not gonna lie. Shooting up inside is definitely more fun than on the street, because there is no random shit popping from nowhere. And it's just, I don't know, the amount of wires I needed was so frustrating. You needed to literally anything. Even stupid knives require so many wires. Fuck that. They should either reduce or remove some of the wires, because this is the main ingredient you need. No scraps. Double the amount of scraps to make a knife, not the wire. Because scraps, I'm drowning in scraps. I have nothing to do with them. Meanwhile, I don't have wires, despite having like 90 hours of gameplay when I'm farming, literally farming those things. And I have almost everything. The wires is such a pain to get. So Dark Zones are really in terms of the boosters, right? Inhibitors, boosters, yeah, the one that the boosters definitely. Techland doesn't want us to have a booster parade like we had in Dying Light 2. In Dying Light 2, it was all about boosters. So what they did, they reduced the amount of poppy you're gonna get. You still can craft it, but it's really reduced. So you do need to put effort to get poppy. Poppy is the flower that you can get. Of course, there exist, but it's way, way, way harder to acquire them. So you will have less those boosters, and you need to rely on other sources. At least that's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong here. In the end, I had enough to fight the final boss and final, scenario. So it was fine as a normal. And they were maxed out, so yeah, those also required puppies, so I had to collect something. Overall, crafting feels nice. I just want the wires to be less things. The stash is ass, because I like the old stash in the following in Dying Light 1 rather than a limited stash in Dying Light 2, because there is a limit, and because the legendary items cannot be dropped, the guns or dismantle, you have to put it. Equipment, the gear, is not gonna be droppable or dismantleable or sellable. So yeah, you're stuck. You need to just pretty much stick to it. And I just hope there will be more content added since it's standalone game, but I don't want to be showered with items I cannot remove. Otherwise, we just reach the capacity limit and it's gonna be such a problem like we had in Dying Light 2. So watch out, don't mindlessly pick everything when you go and loot stuff, because you can loot legendary item that you already have, which can cause problems for your stash, because you're not gonna get rid of this weapon. So I hope eventually Techland will fix it or let us dismantle. Map feels empty. Outside of 2 hubs, all we get from any kind of encounters are the random guy who gets in trouble all the times and some bandits. That's it. And there is a crush site where there's just, special infected and the box. There is nothing. Even in Dying Light 1, there were much more activities overall. There was more camps or something. Here, world feels empty. And I know it's apocalypse and stuff, but it feels terribly empty. And I'm just running from point A to B. Even when you had a, safe house, eventually that there was a vendor or somebody, it was much more enjoyable. And I'm comparing Dying Light, the Beast, to the following and Dying Light 1, because this game should be compared to not Dying Light 2. It was much more alive in previous, game, and it felt like really exhausting. That I'm gonna go here, there's nobody. So the interactive is by the radio. Like you do a quest with random people and they have your radio, or the other way of communication, which felt really odd, but no spoilers here. And I just want to have more people somewhere. Car. Oh boy. It feels like it was added later when they had already map build up. And when I played from the start, I hated the car because I couldn't get into city, and I was like, oh my god, how I'm gonna get there? How just I was doing so many mistakes, and I hate it. I didn't like it at all. First of all, I'd rather have a car like the buggy we had in Dying Light 1, the following, where you could develop, upgrade, repair all the things. That was chef's kiss. They nailed it. And here, not so much. But when I turn on GPS, it changed everything. I started to enjoy, because I stopped think, how do I get from point A to point B? No, I was just following arrows where I can, I was traveling through roads I haven't ever thought about that they will lead me to the point where I'm going. So GPS is a mandatory, otherwise you're just gonna hurt yourself, and it's definitely much better. The amount of times I blew up my car because I was fighting nearby was just beyond. I didn't like that. But overall, it's nice. It's nice when you have a GPS. What I dislike is the skin that applies when you use it. That's why I prefer have my own car, where you can summon it somehow. I know it's not, it's magical, but we talk about world with zombies, right? Yeah, so I don't like the skin. Outside of that, everything feels good. There is quests. There are quests, the side quests where you need to ride, checkpoints. You need to do some races. Highly recommend not using brake and just doing things. I noticed when I was turning with a brake, I was making worse time. Then I just used, forward, and then I wasn't like not clicking for a moment to turn, hard turn. So I was not losing much speed, and that helped me. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's definitely the amount of time also when I try to add gas and I sit it in the back. Oh Jesus! Yeah, I know it's designed for 4 players. I know. I just don't have those players, and I wish to be a passenger and shoot through the window. I would love that. So eventually, someday, I'll have that. So let me start from the fact that it's a deal. It meant to be a DLC, and it feels like a DLC just to put a lot of work into it. It's compared for me to the following. Let's compare that to following. The following felt like a game, separate game, but of course there was less content than the Beast. Nevertheless, it still feels like expansion to me rather than full game. However, because it's a standalone game, there was no info so far, but I really hope there will be a DLC that fills the holes, because I'm sure they would love to have it. But there was a lot of talking how Techland, break the rule. They did something else. They release game. They use assets from previous games. It took way less time, and they gave us the full product. No, it doesn't feel like a full product because the length of a story and side quests and everything and looking for findings, it doesn't take that much time. Okay, and when I compare that, the full price game, compare that to, I don't know, God of War, Spider-Man, Uncharted, I don't know, Resident Evil, maybe not, because it's like Resident Evil 4, Space Marine 2, and many other single-player games. I mean, Space Marine 2 is actually a terrible example, because the story is short, and game relies heavily on multiplayer. But the Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 8, 7, the length of a campaigns. Of course, the Resident Evil you can finish and speedrunning stuff, but if you play it, or like Assassin's Creed, right, the older one with the open map, they take much longer to finish the game, and I know that people doesn't want, all of us doesn't want to have, not everyone wants to have a long game. So yeah, and it was pointed multiple times recently. But what about those who actually want to? What about those who pays the full price of a game and wants the full price of a game, and we get like half-baked product because the story is super fucking short? And I feel terrible because of that. Because, come on, I have a problem with financial problem, okay? Paying full price for a game, it's hard for me. It was hard for me to pay for this game. But I got it on my birthday. I got money on a birthday present, and I bought myself a Dying Light the Beast because I was like, okay, Dying Light, usually I play hundreds of hours. I'm on like 95 hours and I'm done. I started the second playthrough because there is, I wanted to stay fully on brutal, because on first playthrough I switched from brutal to survival, then switch to brutal, but I want to play it on brutal, and I want to play differently a little bit. But it doesn't give me the same value I had in previous games, and it's sad because, like I said, money counts, and money counts in my case, and not getting enough value feels bad. So despite all, for me, it's more like expansion than a full price game. But I hope there will be a DLCs that will fill the map completely, like some kind of dungeons, like we had infected zones, the quarantine zones, something to do. We need more activities, or just this game you finish in 90 hours fully, and then you want to play again. yeah, that doesn't click to me, and I feel terrible. I feel terrible for buying it. I should. I had fun. I was part of a hype, but I'm sad because I finished it and I have nothing to do there. So now I want to start over, but it's not that much exciting to me. So if your money is tight, wait, really wait, because you're not gonna get the everything I said sounds terrible. It's a good game. Don't get me wrong, it's a good game. Absolutely. I had a blast for those hours I played. I had a blast. I had fun. But without New Game Plus, with this short campaign, game is done for me, and it took me less than 100 hours. And I'm done with the game, and I hate it, because I wanted more. And all this is because I'm frustrated, because money is problem in my world. So I wanted to get value. I wanted to have a game that will last for hundreds, not hundred, but hundreds hours. So I can enjoy it for a couple of months rather than just 2 weeks. Game is fun. Like I said, it was blast during the gameplay. A lot of pretty things. Despite tons of bugs, because I had so many bugs, like we all had the day cycle, cycle day night broken, weather, rain inside. But there was many other bugs, like uh, I switched from brutal to survival because sometimes I got into on the roofs. I got into some kind of artifacts that were blocking me, and in order to try to get out, I had to jump like weird, and then I was falling from a roof. Chase starting through the wall, which is baffling, and many other bugs which I really disliked. But they will fix it eventually. Every game has some problems. It's great to have fun. If you like zombies and if you like Dying Light, this game is absolutely for you. If you're tight with money, wait a little bit, because it costs is not, it's not. If we judge it by Value Town, how much value you get from as a gameplay, it's not that valuable. And after I did all the quests and everything without New Game Plus and DLCs and it just okay, it's done, and I can run around the world. And at least in Dying Light 2, we had those stupid bounties where you could just do stuff. Here we can't. And New Game Plus would absolutely extend the gameplay, especially if the zombies scale to your level. Lack of scale kills the challenge. And you can say, you complain that there is no reason to fight, no challenge. No, challenge isn't at night. It is, but there is no reward, there is no XP, there is no loot, nothing for me to go outside and fight. Just a mindless fight. And it's nice a couple of times, but then what? Nevertheless, I see amazing potential in this game. Remember, they reused a lot of stuff, so it took less time to produce this game. And I really hope they have something on the stove ready to release outside of New Game Plus. So more fun. And I'm frustrated because I wanted more than I got. Game looks amazing. It feels amazing. The gameplay is satisfying. The beast mode is dumb but fun. Parkour, great. My disliking is the night. I didn't like night and following because there was no running through the roofs, just on the fields, and it's pretty much the same here, which I hated because I want to have more, parkour stuff when I run rather than just hold shift and run as hell. I don't like that, and it happened here again. So the chases in the city feels wonderful as always, but the chases on the field feels run or you die, and that's it. So they repeat the same problem. Uh, I see great potential, and it's definitely fun to play. I just want more, and it hurts. There could be much more stuff. I don't know the beta testers how they did look, what they did, and if they ever suggest stuff. I know Techland now is on a leash since Tencent owned them, and they want a money. They want a fast producing money business. They pushed story a little bit, so Crane. No spoilers. Yeah, Crane is awesome. Apparently, the beast mode will stay with this game. There won't be beast mode within next game, and I'm happy. So enjoy while it lasts. Maybe all this means they will produce more games, more installments of Dying Light in the same engine and everything, and they will produce the games like FIFA every year, right? The quests feel nice. The story is predictable but simple. Everyone can understand it. The side quests feel way better. Everything looks beautiful. The game looks astonishing. I had so many moments when I just, I was playing and then I stand still for a moment just to look around how awesome it looks. Chimeras, when you fight them, yeah, they're interesting no matter what. But because the cutscenes, you can cheese the boss fights with just putting a lot of mines where the boss is about to spawn. So you're gonna kill them. That's neat. I like that. When they fix all the bugs, the grabby zombies, day-night cycle and other things, the game, and add more stuff, because the game feels empty for me. Not enough content. But if they add more, oh, it's gonna be beautiful. And I would say my review here, say it's 8 out of 10. Despite all the flaws I pointed, there is a lot of positives. And if you have money to spare like that, just, you throw cash left and right. This game's for you, absolutely, if you loved. But if you're tight with money, you're not gonna get Dying Light 2 or Dying Light 1 value. So wait. But in my eyes, it's 8 out of 10, solid 8. And just hope for more. But what do you think? Do you think my criticism is valid or I overreact? Do you think because I'm broke, I'm bitter? I am a little bit because I wanted more. But what do you think? Tell me, because what else I could improve? I'm trying to do something new, and from time to time I want to review a game here and there. But for the now, this is it. This is my review of Dying Light the Beast. 8 out of 10, feels really good. The game looks awesome, but needs more. And definitely looking forward if they add more. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Subscribe. And bye-bye.